Hey, Mark Shepard here today, and I want to talk a little bit about keeping your word to yourself. I mean, this kind of pulls in the area of impeccability as talked about in the Don Miguel Ruiz work, the Four Agreements, as well as other Toltec ideas. But it's about being true to yourself, to your own self be true, to thine own self be true. I think that was one of from Hamlet and by Shakespeare. But here's what happened. Every time I abandoned myself to be kind or nice or to kind of go the extra mile for somebody, it seems to come back and bite me in the ass. And it's a strange paradox because I grew up in the whole Christian tradition, turn the other cheek, give somebody your coat. And ultimately, that's a radical idea and I support it. And yet every time I attempt to do it, it has the opposite effect. Here's an example. And for those of you holistic practitioners who are watching this is something we fall into all the time. Okay, my day off is Monday. I have an intense music day on Sunday, and Mondays are my day off. Tuesdays, my office day. I don't see clients Mondays or Tuesdays. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I see clients. Saturdays, I do lots of stuff that has to be done on Saturdays. Sundays, I do music. So Monday, really my only day off. I got a referral from a friend of mine who's a therapist. He's a really good therapist. And I really respect his work. And he'd referred somebody to me. And at first I was a little confused as to who the person was and who referred them. There was a little confusion involved. But I figured it out. And the only time the guy could come in was Monday. Well, since it was a referral, since I wanted to do a good job and, kind of nourish and nurture other possible referrals, I was like, okay, I'll see you on Monday. Well, the only time he could come in was Monday morning. Well, that's when I do my Pilates class. So I literally moved my Pilates class to later in the day, or maybe I canceled it altogether. I don't remember. But I made an accommodation for this guy, right? I made an accommodation. I normally don't see clients in the mornings. That's the time that I do these videos. That's the time I write music. That's the time I work on stuff. That's the time I follow up with clients and do email. I mean, I use my mornings. I'm not sitting around eating bonbons, So, but I agreed to see the guy on my day off. I agreed to see the guy in the morning. So those are two things I did that were not in alignment with my own promise to myself. Well, 10 o'clock comes. The guy never shows up. He never shows up. Well, later on, I check my email and there's a voicemail message because, I thought pretty much sure I'd given him my cell phone, which I normally do with all my new clients. I make sure they have my cell phone so that if they're confused or lost, they can call me. And I keep my phone on until they actually arrive, and then I turn my phone off for the session. Didn't hear from him on my cell phone, so he calls my 800 number or my local area number, which goes to a website and sends me an email, right? And he's all angry because he tried the front door and it was locked. And he didn't see any sign. And the bottom line is, the right door, there's like a little table in front of it. It's a glass door, there's a little table. The left door opens, the right door doesn't. He never tried the left door. There's two doors. He only tried the right one. He didn't try the left one. He didn't go into the place between the doors to even see that I have a sign there, I have business cards, I have a doorbell, my name is there. And so he leaves me this nasty message how he drove all this distance and he'll never come back to see me again and I'm rude and I'm horrible and blah, 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 blah. But the guy couldn't even conceive that the other door opened. So the lesson for me is, everything was kind of out of my normal system. I normally send people to my website. I normally ask them to pay in advance. I did none of that with this guy. I made all these accommodations and it literally blew up in my face. So it's like, for me, that's the lesson. When you go against your own integrity and your own values and your own promise to yourself, it's not going to be good. When I hold my space and clients say to me, well, can I try this? They negotiate, right? They always, like, I have a payment set up so that if they commit to 10 sessions or 10 hours, that they get a massive price break. Because I want to encourage people showing up and doing the work. But every single time they say, well, can I commit to the 10 hours but only do one session? Can I get the 10-hour price but only commit to one session? And I'm like, no, you don't understand. You get the special price if you show up and commit ahead of time with your money. It's not about me being greedy. It's about me causing you to make the same level of commitment that I'm making to you. Let's make the same commitment to each other. It's expensive for me to give you time. It's expensive for me to give my life force to you. Think about this, particularly if you're a holistic practitioner. You don't get your time back ever. Right? I have a friend she's retired and her husband makes good money, so she has it wired up in her mind that it's not right for her to charge money, so she does healing touch work. And I think she's probably really good at it. But she doesn't charge any money because so much has been given to her in her life that she wants to give back. And I think that's great. However, if you're a holistic practitioner who actually has the dream of making a living, doing your work, your highest work, you have to have some boundaries. Now, we as healers don't always have very good boundaries because we're downloading all this information. If we had boundaries, we wouldn't get the information. So we need to set up a filter to let the download from spirit or source or intuition or creativity or God or whatever you want to call it. We got to let that in. But at the same time, we do our clients a disservice if we do not have good boundaries. It's the same with children. It's the same, in relationships. The other person's going to test you. And for guys, women are famous for testing guys to see, they call it a shit test in the dating industry. And particularly attractive women will test a guy to see if he can handle her, right? See if he's got the cajones, if that's correctly spoken. See if he's got the guts to be able to, not be dominated by her, not be swayed by her. It's like a test. And clients do this, people. Clients will do this. And it's normal. Don't be thrown by it. Expect it. They're going to throw you curveballs, and you as an NLP practitioner or whatever practice you do, you have to actually be the grown-up, right? You have to be the person who's leading, because if you let them lead you, then you are no longer able to provide them what they actually need, which is someone who's like, no, stop your crap, stop your stuff, stop. That may work at home, it may work on the job, but here it doesn't work. You're pulling your childhood stuff on me, and it doesn't fly here. Cut the crap. It's time for a different approach, right? That's your job as a practitioner, really. If you're going to be a healer, Castaneda talks about the ruthlessness of a healer. That a healer somehow has to not get sucked into the pity party that the client is stuck in, right? If I get pulled into your pity party, then I'm no longer effective. I got an email yesterday from someone who, and I get these all the time. I have anxiety. I have anxiety so bad, she writes, or he writes, I don't know who it was. I have anxiety so bad that I can't work. So I'm just wondering if out of the kindness of your heart, you could just help me for free. And it's like, my Christian background is like, oh, you must help, you must clothe the poor. You must take care of these poor, wretched people. But the bottom line is, every time I've tried to do that, they are the worst clients. They're the most resistant people. They're so holding on to their victim persona, their victim mentality, that nothing I do works. So then I start feeling bad about me, that, oh, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was, or maybe I don't really, maybe this doesn't work. So literally, if you work with a client who's not ready to make a shift or a change, it is dangerous for you as a practitioner. Tad James said to me one time, he said, Mark, you don't want clients. You want successful clients. And he purposely kind of left that vague. Do I want clients who are already successful, who have money? Well, maybe. Do I want clients who are willing to invest in themselves enough so that they get a good result? Yeah. But I mean, when I came out of my NLP training, my partner, my wife at the time, was like, well, then only wealthy people can afford your services. And I'm like, that felt bad. I don't want to just be for wealthy people. I want to help people, you know? I learned this stuff to help myself because I was miserable. And I want to share it with as many people as possible. But there's a certain problem when you give it away. There's a certain problem when you lower your price too much to make it easy for someone to work with you. And the bottom line is they don't value it. Your price has to be enough so that they value it. Your price has to be enough so that they go, well, I spent this money. I better show up, right? I do a weight loss program with Bethany Gagne, and we charge $900 for it, for a 10-week weight loss program. And one of the comments from one of the people that went through the 10 weeks, by the way, and our attendance was amazing for those 10 weeks. Pretty much people only missed maybe one time for important stuff. They didn't just blow off the class. They showed up. And one of the comments that one of the people made was, because I spent so much money on it, I knew I was going to show up. I was going to absolutely show up. Even if I didn't feel like showing up, I was going to show up, get my money's worth. You want that. That's good. It's not bad. It doesn't make you a bad person to charge a legitimate value-based fee for your work, for your services, for the experience you have, for the energy you bring, for the attention you bring to the client. That's important. You need to believe in yourself enough and to hold yourself in enough esteem so that when someone says, oh, I can only come in on a Saturday, and you don't work on Saturdays because that's time for your family, that you say, well, I guess you're not a good match for me as a client because I don't work on Saturdays. I work on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Oh, can you see me Monday? Monday is my only day off. Well, I'm booked on Mondays and I'm booked on Tuesdays. But I have some openings on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So you almost need to practice that instead of saying, well, that's my day off. No, I'm booked on Mondays. I have a prior engagement. I'm not available. I am booked. I'm booked on Tuesdays. Well, Tuesdays is the day that I spend in the office contacting clients, returning phone calls, following up, taking care of all the emails, taking care of business, doing the things that I need to do because this is a business, right? It's not a charity. It's a business. And there's an exchange of energy. If I spend and I commit a time to you, if I commit an hour of my time to you and you don't show up, or you show up and basically don't value it, then there's a mismatch. You need to understand my time is valuable. Your time is valuable as well. Neither one of us will get that hour back because we have a finite amount of time. We're only here for a short time, people. So the question is, do you want to spend your time with someone who doesn't appreciate or value you or your time or your expertise or your gifts as a healer? And the answer has to be no. And you need to learn how to say no to clients who are not a good match. And again, this video is for me as much as it is for you, because I know we come to this from open-hearted love. We want to help people. We want to make a difference in the world. We have tools and techniques and ideas and concepts and energy that can make a difference in people's lives. However, they have to appreciate it. They have to get it. We can't just do this with anybody. Let's say, I don't know, you pick a random New York City taxi driver and say, hey, I can help you. He's like going to look at you and go, what? He's not ready. He's not your client, right? It's okay that everyone isn't your client. That's a really good lesson for us to learn. It's a business lesson for those of us holistic practitioners who have very little business acumen, very little business sense. It's a learned thing. You can learn this, and it will make a difference in your practice. So that's it for today. I just think it's important to say, and so I look forward to your feedback. There's usually a handy form below whatever post or place this video shows up. So I'm interested in hearing what you have to say as a holistic practitioner and how you balance, your desire to help people with the fact that sometimes you have to hold your ground. You have to speak your truth. You have to have some boundaries around your own personal life. Because if you don't take care of you, you're not going to have the juice, the resources to help your clients. And that's when I have my day off and I rest and I do whatever I want to do and I have fun and it's recreation. Recreation is recreation, it's revitalization. And then I have the juice to do amazing work with clients. I'm way more resourceful and I'm a way better practitioner when I've had rest and when I've had time for me. So that's the message. Take care of yourself. Okay? Take care of yourself. Speak your truth. Hold your ground. This is good. This is your work, right? This is our work as practitioners, and our clients will test us. Our clients will be the perfect teachers for us. And sometimes the lesson is, no, you're not a good client for me, and I wish you well, and I'm not going to refer you to anybody because I wouldn't do that to my best friends, right? Or my worst enemies. So good luck. We're not a match. And you would be amazed at how many times when someone tests me and goes, well, what about this? What about that? Da, 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 da. And I just come back and say, well, I've set it up this way, and that's the way it is. They go, oh, okay. And they come and work with me, and we get great results. So peace, grooviness, over and out. Peace, grooviness, over and out. All the best to you. You can do this. This is just part of the growing process as a holistic practitioner. Have a great day. Bye.